All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Talk of That Talk official podcast where we have comfortable and comfortable conversations. I am your host, Juice, aka No Ordinary Brother.
Hey, what's good, world? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. We back at it once again. I go by the name of King Exodus, aka X.
All right. It's going to be a jam-packed episode for y'all today. All right. One of the things that me and X like to do, we like to make sure we go back and forth and come up with some topics that we feel like we want to put on the table. Put in front of the viewers. This episode it came about because not necessarily just my mindset, it's because I also see things that take place, right? People don't understand progress is up and down, right? Everybody thinks like, hey, you digress. Like, no, you progress to not do nothing. You got worse. So
Mm.
that's another thing people don't talk about when it comes to progress. You want to make sure when you make progress, you go upwards, right?
Mm.
It was an interesting comment I had with somebody the other day. And I was like, everybody has their own thoughts on situations. And
Mm.
I remember they were saying like, yo, I could date somebody that makes $15,000 a year. And I was like, yo, you're 38. At $15,000 a year, you're in poverty. After taxes for the year, there's like six grand, net wise.
Mm.
So, but the person had threw out like, well, as long as that person's ambition, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm glad you said that, right?
Mm.
See, a person who likes to make steady progress has made, what's the words? He has set protection in place for him to not fall back, right? One of the
Mm.
main things we always heard, like growing up, hey, look, you got health insurance, get health insurance. Hey, do you at least have 3 months worth of rent? Look, you put things in place for you not to fall back. That's what I said. When you make steady progress, I'm not saying I'll say this as well, not to be arrogant or ignorant, is I can understand everybody has situations, but the main our is like as you elevate, you keep protecting yourself as you create these assets in yourself on the upward level. To a point,
Mm.
even your net worth and network will protect you from falling, right?
Mm.
I don't know if you ever been in a situation where like you need a job or something's about to come place. Like, hey, look, I got somebody right now that needs somebody. They already got it in place. See, you made progress in your relationships to a point people won't make you fall. You made progress in your network to a point they'll protect you and make sure you're good. Like these are progressive steps that you make as a man or as a woman to a point you will forever be in a positive and upward. Oh, what's the word I was at? Upward. I'll just say upward balance. Man. You're going more bullish on the stock market. There
Okay.
you go, man. You know what
I like
I'm
that
saying? You know
stock
how you do
talk. I
that.
like that stock talk. Okay. All right. Most definitely. Progress. The pendulum swings. It's an
Mm,
up and down game, but it's part of the process.
mm,
We can just take it simple. One of my first points would be like, health in your body. You feel me? Like,
mm,
for people to come up with like a master plan on how to create the optimal physique,
mm,
they try many different diets, many different workout routines to come up with something that's concrete. You feel me? So a lot of those times is crash and burn. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? You have to see what works, and that's how progress works. It takes quote unquote failure. It takes all these things just for you to get to the successful point. You know what I mean? But a lot of us want to skip steps. We don't enjoy that journey, right?
mm,
So going back to the health and the body, um, I do believe that let's say you got a diagnosis, high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever. Um, do we continue the same habits that got us into that situation?
mm,
You feel me? Like if we're gonna talk about being progressive, we have to progress even throughout our health. If you know you want to write books, you want to do whatever, there's certain elements within that person's diet that makes them sharper, helps them gain more mental capacity. You know what I mean? So we have to actually see, we have to eat based on the type of life we're trying to live. You know what I
mm,
mean? If you're trying to be a holistic person, healer, or whatever the case, most likely you're gonna have to go probably vegan, or you're gonna have to eat more clean, drink more
mm,
water than the average person. No, these
mm,
type of things come into play. So health is very important. What I disagree with society is that we accept that as we age and get older, our bodies will decline.
mm,
That's not a reality I want to live in.
Mm-hmm.
So gradually, as you get older, week to week, month to month, year to year, let's do things to improve our health. Let's
Mm-hmm.
give up the food here. Let's give up a meat here. Let's, you know what I'm saying, drop a starch here. You know what I'm saying? Let's pick up better habits. You know what I mean? I like the fact that people are doing challenges. It's motivating us to take care of our bodies. And that body is key. You know what I mean? Like I hate it when people say, hey, when I was in high school, I could run like this. When I was in college, I could lift this. Bro, you only 30. What happened? If you 40, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like you shouldn't be that far off from how your body was performing when
Mm-hmm.
you was at your peak. You feel me?
Right.
So progression, health, and body wise is something you should always seek longevity wise. Let's stop accepting the fact some of y'all 30 years old talking about your back hurt, your knees popping. You know what I mean? Like you can't run a mile or half a mile no more. Like something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong. We aging the wrong way. We should get better as we get older. So anything you got on that, man? Before we
Man,
go on?
I like that you felt the need to challenge that, right? You know, most people
Mhm.
say, well, when you get older, your body ain't working like it is.
Mm-mm.
But even I always challenge that, like, well, is it really age or is it because we just stopped caring? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We some of our favorite bodybuilders in their 40s and 50s, and we like, bro, they look like they in their 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like they always say, men hit their prime in the age of 30. So I'm
Right.
like,
Mhm.
okay, we might be in our youthful, in
Mhm.
our youth between, the teens to the early 20s. But I'm watching people still making progress, lifting weights, eating
Mhm.
healthy.
Mhm.
I can't lie, man. You had me thinking for quite some time. I'm like, man, I think I'm about ready to cut red meat out my damn self. You know what I'm saying? You know the only
Mhm.
red meat I like, bro. You know what
Steak.
it is, man.
Steak.
There it is. That's it.
T-bone.
That's really
T-bone for
that's
life.
only the red meat I like, man. I love a good steak, man.
T-bone for
You know
life.
what I'm saying? So, one of my challenges I have for myself for this week, man, I literally put more fish, more chicken in my fridge, and I put like one or two red meats. I'm like, all right, I can only eat this once a week or
Balance.
twice. I'm trying to, I'm getting
Balance.
myself into that habit, right? Because
Mhm.
I was talking to somebody else not too long ago. I was like, bro, how are y'all so conscious of bad eating habits or bad words, and y'all still use them? It sounds retarded. But
Mhm.
then I had to look at myself too on that basis. Like I said, when it comes to red meat, I'm like, come on, man. You know I love a good steak. It's that cowboy steak ribeye, man. I can listen, man. Put some motherfucking A1 steak sauce. Give me some. I'm ready to tear that motherfucker. It's steak, baby.
Mhm.
But then
Steak. Mhm.
I be looking at all the diagnoses on red meat, how long it takes to process, the some of the situations where they're
Like
actually one
2 weeks.
of the most
Mhm.
they're actually the most killer in your body.
Mhm.
Besides pork and red meat is one of the most killer besides chicken and fish.
Mhm.
So as I'm looking at that, I'm
Mhm.
like, damn, bro, I can't keep reading this information and just not applying it. So I've
Mhm.
slowly been implementing it into my life. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I do want to say that, and I can always feel the difference too. So,
Mhm.
and one of the things they always say, like, eat your heaviest meals during the daytime, because at
Mhm.
nighttime you got different organs in your body. They're shutting off. That people don't even know your body has a shut off. Your different organs go to sleep at different times.
Mhm. Correct.
So that's one of the
Circadian
things
rhythm.
I'm talking about. I like that though. Yeah, it's counteracting health. Um, Another subject I want to bring to the light is when it comes to making progress is um, have a written plan of what you want to make progress in, right? You know what I'm saying? Steps to steps is one of the main keys before you see any type of results. A lot of us don't have steps. We just say what the fuck we want to do. I don't know if people ever noticed that. They be like, man, I want to play ball. Where you gonna play ball at? I didn't think about that. I was just gonna go to the YMCA. Hoop with them dudes. I was like, are you gonna play ball year round? Like when I was heavy in baseball, we played baseball year round. We had fall ball,
Mhm.
right? We're playing
Mhm.
year round. This was
Mhm.
like, if we're gonna do it, you got to play it every day. We have people that sometimes stuff so much. It's like, yo, no wonder why you ain't making progress. You got to stick to the steps. And one of
Right.
the main things to making progress in your life is discipline,
Mhm.
consistency,
Mhm.
dedication, and commitment.
Mhm.
You got to keep those in mind as you like, even when that comes to anything in life, keep those in mind.
Mm.
Discipline, consistency, dedication, commitment.
Cool, cool. Tapping in on that. You got goals, you got ambition. Cool. You have to be able to have a concrete plan on how you're gonna make this shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just having a goal and having dreams and having ambition serves you no purpose at all, right? You want to put forth the proper work, the proper actions to make it actually manifest in real time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when you have to, you know what I'm saying, come out with a plan and then be mindful that, you know, shit takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some people just feel like just because they want something real bad and they do a little bit or they do a lot, that it's just supposed to come when you think it's supposed to come. That's not how life works.
Mm-hmm.
Longevity is the key. You know what I mean? So you definitely have to be mindful of that, right? You have a lot of millionaires and billionaires that didn't pop until they was 50. You know what I'm saying? 50 years old. I ain't talking about 50 Cent. You know what I mean? So these type of things happen. Some people don't make it to their 30s. Some people don't make it to their 40. Some people get lucky, you know what I'm saying, and get it popping in their 20s. But you still don't know how long that person been working towards that just to pop in their 20s. You know what I mean? So be mindful of that. And don't really, like I said, don't really compare yourself to other people because that can throw you off. Stay focused on your course. Stay focused on your journey. Everybody's path ain't the same. Everybody don't have the same obstacles. You know what I mean? But definitely plan. Execute your plan. And even if you fall off your plan, that's okay. Go back to the drawing board. Sometimes falling off your plan can help you. It just depends on how you regroup. What lesson is for?
There you go.
Yeah. Because
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, that's why I always say one of the most important things is to tell people what you want to do. I literally just had somebody message me like, "Hey, did you get your company up and running?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just got my business account yesterday. I'm working on my logo and doing the back work." That's the
Right.
power.
Right. And having a plan and sticking to it, like I say, sometimes that can work against you because your plan can be flawed and you don't want to be stuck on stupid. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I'm disciplined. I'm locked in." Yo, but the shit ain't working. We got to edify. We got to modify. We got to, you know what I'm saying, reach out. And that's another thing that's going to help you progress your plan is reaching out to people. Even if, you know what I'm saying, still running by other people, see what kind of feedback you get. Whether it's positive or negative. Don't be afraid of negative criticism. Is it really even a such thing? You know what I mean? Russell Westbrook, they call him Westbrook. They talk about he sucked. They need to trade him. Dude, the Hall of Fame. Who gives a fuck? People talking about him, still making money. He's still going in the Hall of Fame regardless. I don't know if he'll win a ring or not, but hey, that's another conversation. But he's still doing his thing.
He's a Hall of Famer today.
At the end of the day.
Charles Barkley.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to remember that, man. Oh, man. One thing I wanted to focus on, what you said was like, stop looking at everybody else's comparison, right? Like during that same conversation when I was having the other day, person threw out, but Stan Lee didn't make it to 39. I said Stan Lee had a fucking network too. Did y'all not understand? He set himself in positions. Jeff Bezos, before he became rich, he worked at a hedge fund. He worked in different places where he attached himself to powerful people. That's what I'm saying. I like y'all just see the results when they make it. Y'all don't see the infrastructure and foundation they created in the meantime. Right? Nobody's popping overnight. Warren Buffett become rich till, damn, what was his age? Like 50 or I think it was 50 something. I think it was 50 something. I'm not mistaken. But he was still buying. He was still continuing his process, his consistency. He was still studying the markets. He still was seeing things before he popped like that. Like I said, it's the consistency that would make you make progress, right? Progress goes ups and down. Now, this is the thing. When progress starts going downwards, what do you have set up for yourself to keep you from going down too far? One of mine, I tell you right now, my body. I don't like to be more than 10 pounds over my BMI. 100%. Exercise that. My BMI say, look, you're supposed to be 170. I get to 181. Hey, look, man, I ain't eating for the whole week. These are things I set in place so I don't go down too far. I said, look, the only way I'll accept 10 pounds on my body is if it's pure muscle. But me just getting there, no, I'm not doing that. Right? Just like the belt loop method, right? You should find a belt loop you feel comfortable with. The minute your stomach starts expanding, you got to go to another loop. You should be like, oh, no. It's time to cut down. Let's do some more crunches. Let's work on our stomach. Let's go ahead and drink some distilled water. Another thing, distilled water helps clean the body. That's another thing we don't talk about. I
So,
advise you to do that once a week. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? These are all different methods that help crunch down the body and get it back into a better position. Like I said, you've got, before you make progress and digress in your life, start having boundaries. That's the most important thing, is boundaries, so you don't fall through. One of my
mhm,
biggest accountability partners is X. Right here.
mhm,
I think he definitely does everything I want to do in my life right now.
mhm.
But like I said, before you make progress and going downwards, have boundary set so it never happens, right? I still see people right now that be like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna get in the gym. All right, cool." And then they be like, "Man, next year." Oh man, I need a partner, man. I like, it's a lot of that's
Mhm.
what we self sabotage. Self sabotage is
Mhm.
the reason why you might make progress going downwards as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead, man. Take it from there.
Tapping in on that, man. Hey, look, if the only boundaries you know in life is your relationship life, you got
Your
problems.
standards.
You know what I'm saying? You know what you will and will not accept in a relationship. What about life, motherfucker? Every level. You know what I'm saying? Let's be realistic.
Uh-huh.
So another key I want to talk about is intellect. You should always make progress with that. I ain't saying you got to be fucking Einstein or Malcolm X, but you do actually want to become smarter the older you get. I
Mm,
hate it when I talk to a motherfucker and like they still using the same catchphrases of information that they was been saying for the past couple of years. You know what I mean? They still reading the same books they've been reading for the past couple of years. You know what I mean? Like saying these same old sayings gets played out to me after a while. When that becomes just people's normal conversation. Like kind of you let me know that you're not really expanding your mind. When you expand your mind, you expand your vocabulary.
right.
You know what I mean? You step out. You know what I mean? You should be able to tap into different authors. And it ain't just got to be books and whatever. You know what I mean? I feel like if you out there, you know what I mean, and you want to buy a house, you should learn a little bit about real estate. Everybody got a car. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying you got to be a mechanic, but some people have a car their entire life and still know nothing about anything that's under the hood. Knowledge. You know what I mean? Let's just continue to grow. People want to become like rappers. That's cool. They still know nothing about the music business.
Mm,
So, you know what I'm saying? And one thing beautiful about studying stocks is even if you're not trying to invest, you still know what's coming next just by knowing how to look at what's moving and not moving in the market. You can prepare for
trend.
shit.
The
You feel me?
trend.
You ain't got to be on social media, you know what I'm saying, getting all your knowledge and information about what's going to happen. You actually finding out for yourself.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So these are just things you want to keep in mind. Every day, learn something new. You know what I mean? Like I said, you ain't got to be Einstein. And then some people feel like if they in school or they got a degree, well, they certified, their knowledge is solidified. No,
right.
scientists still study new information every day.
Every day.
Uh, top scholars still learn new shit every day.
Mm,
Warren Buffett still reads every day. Feel
mm,
me? So you just got to keep this in mind. Knowledge is infinite, and you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to keep having the same kind of conversations. You don't want to keep having the same circles, not meeting new people. And
mm,
maybe your knowledge and information is holding you back.
mm.
So just study. You know what I mean? Some people go to the doctor and the only thing they know about their body is what the doctor tells them. They don't
Mm,
know shit for themselves.
mm,
You can't keep living like this.
right.
You know what I mean? Everybody got a computer, at least two, three, four computers in their house. They got tablets, cell phones, laptops, all this shit.
I got all
You know
that
what I
shit.
mean? It's no excuse not to learn anything new. I don't want to hear shit about you ain't got the time because let's keep it 100. We spend more time on Facebook and Instagram than anything else in our lives right now. So we got the time, right? You can do that shit on the same device. So what you got on knowledge and intellect, man?
Man, my favorite. I'm a quote man, man. They call me the quote man, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So as
Okay.
you was talking, my favorite quote came on my mind. You'll never know more than what you don't know.
Yeah. The more you know, the
That's
more
my
you know, the
favorite
less you
quote
know.
right there. You'll never
Mhm.
know more than what you don't know. So
Right.
thinking you know everything is gonna make me laugh at you, right?
Mhm.
I remember I was telling somebody, I always hear like, you still hear, bro. You hear people that want to quote you. yeah, the white man did this, the white man did that. I said, look, bro, it's words being invented every day from every different language. What are you talking about, man? I want to hear that all the time, bro. You're gonna have to hit me with something new sometime. All right.
Mm.
And with the fact that you can never know everything should be a driven thing for me, right? I put up a poster not too long ago,
Mhm.
and it was my test I took. Took me paid $50 for it, right? It
Okay.
says Jonathan Fowler, competitor, learner, uh, learner, futuristic,
Mhm.
and analytical. What was the last one? And I forgot the last one, but those were my main subjects. Learning is definitely one of my main things. I have a thirst for knowledge, right?
Mhm.
And like I said, I have programmed myself so much to want to make progress in my life. If I don't do something that says I made progress for the day, I can't even go to sleep. You want to be able. There's some things you want to be able to put into your mind, like, yo,
Mhm.
I know I got to rest, but what I do? One thing that got instilled into me as a young child was
Mhm.
my uncle told me one time. He's like, look, every day you should be learning new things. I'm going to challenge you right now. Every day you need to learn three new things, right? So I don't care if
Mhm.
it's a person's name, you learn a new word, you learn how
Mhm.
some operations work. You need to forever keep learning. One of the things I share every day on my own Instagram and on my social media platforms, I share word of the day. Word of the day is just a new word that comes up I never knew or never heard of. I read it, boom, okay, cool. Now, I may not imply it right there, but it's some words that click to me in an instant because I already understand the definition. So, the smallest things you can do, just make sure you are forever learning. That's how you make progress too. Like for me, like I love a good word jousting, right? When I hear a woman say some diction words, I'd be like, ooh, okay, I'd be ready to engage with that. I'd be like, okay, you got a little something, you got a little something.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's all I got over there when it comes to the intellect as well, man. Like you say, you should ever forever making progress. That is
Mhm.
definitely true.
Cool, cool. Let's go here. I want to talk about assets
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily complete ownership, but as we grow older in age, our bank account should grow. But some people feel like, okay, cool, I got my bank account, uh, I got my car note, car insurance, I own a home, I'm living life. Not shitting on nobody, but it's more to life than that.
Right.
You know what I mean? What type of insurance accounts do you have? You have a trust account.
Mm-hmm.
If we got kids, can't keep having kids and not learning the game. We need custodial accounts for our children. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? This is how we should progress throughout life. A lot of people just look at certain things on a day-to-day basis. Like I say, owning a home, car note, bank account is cool. Nah, we got to upgrade past that. That's not generating wealth. That's not building wealth. We got to make sure we have things into play to where we playing the game the way everybody else playing the game.
Right.
So we have to have more accounts than just our bank account
Mm-hmm.
and our savings account. You feel me? We have to have investments, learn a market,
Mm-hmm.
find something. Feel
Mm-hmm.
me? We have to upgrade. We have to upgrade our lives on all levels when it comes to finances. Just knowing how to budget is cute, but what are we doing with the money? Sometimes I got to catch myself. Sometimes I get so caught up in trying to invest, I, I fucking drain my bank account. You know what I mean? Sometimes I can
Man,
put everything on a ratio.
bro, I just
Sometimes I just go
open a
past that
business. I
shit.
just opened a business, bro. I can't even tell you right now.
So we should have get a CPA. You know what I mean? Like the older we get, we should have more things when it comes to assets versus just uh like I say, having a home, posting our vacations, traveling. We get so wrapped up in the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go today or tomorrow, what are you leaving behind? Besides your cell phone, you know what I mean? What are we leaving behind? You know what I mean? People come behind us, they gotta inherit wealth. They have to inherit things. We have to set things up. So, you know what I mean? Like, let's educate ourselves financially and let's get in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's plenty of shit to invest in. Of course, you can invest in yourself. Some people just stay locked in on that, where they just, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I got my business. I got my LLC. I make my own money. I'm my own boss. It's still more to life than that. There's so many different levels to slavery. You know what I mean? You got house niggas, you got field niggas, you got different kind of niggas. You got different kind of
It's your own
slaves.
business.
Right. And I don't mean nigga as in black. I'm just saying You definitely just have to be aware of financial literacy and apply it in real time. So, what you got on that, man?
Man, definitely. You know, I'm always with the assets right now. I told you
Mhm.
one of the cars I want to get is the S-Class Mercedes Benz, man. But every time I be like, damn, bro, I want to get that. Like I said, I instilled certain principles in me. What do they
Mhm.
say? Have your assets pay for your liabilities. So I'm
Mhm.
like, fuck it, man. I can't get there yet, right? I stick to these rich men rules because they absolutely make sense as I got older, right? It just really makes sense, right? If you have so much uh, liabilities over assets, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter
Mhm.
of time. You got. I just posted something not too long ago. They had people that were making 250K this year, living paycheck to paycheck. I said, how? How is that possible? They just released it in the
Mhm.
Wall Street Journal earlier this year, right? And I'm like, okay, so that means they got stuck in their employment so much that they were determined. It was the main bread point for them that it caused them to go. I was like, damn, bro. So, like I'm saying, even the high earners are living paycheck to paycheck,
Mhm.
right? Another thing about LLC, you don't even have to use your LLC to do a business. You can do an LLC just for the benefits as an individual. They don't talk about that too.
Mhm.
Insurances for your car, insurance. Like, man, look. Like I said, one day I'm gonna charge for a lot of this stuff. I be telling people, bro. One day I'm gonna charge for a lot of this stuff.
It ain't gonna
Um,
be free. Mhm.
it's only free for right now, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I already set something in place for life insurance policies. I talk about that all the time. I already got a 6-figure life insurance policy. The goal is to get it to a 7-figure life insurance policy. All right, I already put that shit in place like years ago. While everybody was like, "Oh no, I don't need life insurance," like one of the things that started hitting me years ago was how everybody talk about GoFundMe, right? And I was just like, bro, like I remember as a teenager, every job I went to, places I went to, they always talk about life insurance, life insurance, life insurance, life insurance. I just watch people like, nah, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Something happened. They're like, hey, look, man, we don't have the money. Somebody help us out. You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff you can put in place for yourself as your child right now. Like the youth is cheaper, you know what I'm saying, for life insurance policy than when you get older. You're a bigger risk if you're trying to get, you know what I'm saying, life insurance as you get older. That's another thing. Hop in when you're young
Okay.
and to where it can be a set price. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Oh, man. But,
Let's say,
listen, huh?
now I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
let's stay right there a little bit longer. We talk
Go
about
ahead.
these custodial accounts. Like, there's so
All right.
many
We
different
can talk about
ways
this.
to break these cycles. Even with custodial accounts, like your child should have an IRA, right, from
Right.
pretty much the time they born. That's another retirement fund for them to pull from when they retire, around the same age as retirement, damn near. About 59, I believe. You know what I mean? So that's an
65,
extra, yeah,
65.
way up for them to pull from the minor IRA. So and
Mm-hmm.
that's just simply just learning the game. You feel me? Like you start your own company, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. Hire your kid, boom. Start building that retirement right then and now from childhood. They have to
Right.
just work for somebody else, and that's the only money that they get. You know what I mean? So many ways to navigate throughout the system. You talked about insurance. You know what I mean? A lot of people just know about the lifetime. You know what I mean? Bread when you die. What about whole life? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You got
That's what I
access
got
to
whole
money
life.
before you die, right? You know what I mean? Some people focus on one, some people focus on both, right?
Both. Both is the
You
key.
want to
Both is
have,
the key.
right? You don't want to have 200 pairs of shoes and don't have multiple policies. You know what I mean? So this is how this shit works. You want to have
Mm-hmm.
multiple policies. Um, yeah. So like I said, that's the key part on investing and all that. The more you know, the less you know. You have to
You know any
continue to
small
learn.
investments for them? Any small investments you want to throw out? I'll tell you
Small.
one right now. Sure.
Go ahead.
One of the small investments I'm getting into, that I'm about to get into is vending machines. I didn't
Mhm.
study the market. I was like, bro, that's it. Just put the products in there. You got vending machines you can stick with foods and snacks, and you also got the air pumps. You know, at the gas station, you gotta go swipe your card. Oh yeah, pay me that. Yeah, pay me that. Pay me to put them gas. Your tire going flat? Yeah, I need $3 for that. You know what I'm saying? I've been like I said, the way my mind has been operating for these last couple of like weeks to almost a month, like I'm
Mhm.
hungry just to get shit started, right? That's why I even told you. I said, look, bro, I got some things in play with these government contracts and something that's coming up. Like, bro, we're gonna
Mhm.
be set up. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about me applying at this point. So, like I said, small things you can do, vending machines. You can like, I don't know, whatever you good at, do that. I remember my niece. She wants to bake. We set up a whole baking thing. We're gonna sell these for $5 a piece, just so you can get it, so you can understand uh, profits and margins. Uh, it was just breaking down different business aspects of that when it comes to selling, you know. And she just started like that. So it was just small stuff you could do.
Okay, okay. Um, let's go here. A lot of people don't progress throughout life, uh, mentally as far as like motivation. Some people just get sunk into like having bad moments and kind of like negative things happen. They never
Yeah.
get to the other side. And it's like mentally, you know what I'm saying? They hold themselves back. They don't make progress within that capacity. Steve Harvey said some great shit. He was like, think about all your bad days, the worst days you had in your life. You lived through all of them if you're still living.
Mm-hmm.
None of those days stops you, you know what I mean? Because you're still here. You're still progressing. So you already are a winner in life. So why not look at yourself as such?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Mm-hmm.
how you make progress. Mentally, you have to know that you're a winner and that you're capable of making progress in order for it to happen. But if you just in a hole and you just only looking at what can go wrong, that's that poverty mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's what holds a lot of us back and keep us in poverty. No matter what we do, shit just don't click. It's your mentality, it's your mindset, it's your energy. These
Mm-hmm.
are things that's stopping you from progressing to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So you always want to think successfully. You know what I mean? Some people, uh, let's say, even with the stock market, some people could look at a stock and be like, all right, that dividend paid 25 cents. Fuck, I'm going to do with 25 cents. Okay, it's 25 cents more than what you had previously. And that's just based on what you may own at that particular moment. So you just
Right.
have to gradually grow. If you never start anywhere, you're not going to take a optimal leap and just jump to where you want to be. Feel me? So this is how you become successful. You have to actually count your successes and put yourself in positions to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just wait till everything is how you want it and then, okay, bet I'm going to make this play. That ain't how it works. You know how much money you probably got to save, how much energy you got to gather up and conjure up just to make these type of moves. The shit don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You think fucking Jeff Bezos just started Amazon like that? No. You know what I mean? It takes years. It takes hard work. It takes a lot of grit, you know what I mean, to get to these levels. We just gotta don't cheat the process. So yeah, don't think of yourself as a loser. Don't just focus on your bad days. So anything you got on that?
Oh man, I'll say this. You mentioned Jeff Bezos, right? So one thing about Jeff Bezos' company that a lot of people don't understand, like during the 2008, his company got really hit, right? I think they dropped and laid off 14. I think it was like 14 to like 30% of his staff, right? So he said something that fucked me up, but I loved it. He said, "Look, our stock was going down, but everything
Mhm.
inside the business was going up." And I was
Mhm.
like, holy shit. He said, see, the world was just looking at the stock. But no. My employees, the people I put in positions, I had to
Mhm.
hire way more people. We were growing. You know what I'm saying? And you could look at how it just made like how much he brought. I don't think I heard of Amazon until like shit, like 2012. I'm gonna be honest with you, I never
Mhm.
heard of Amazon before then.
Mhm.
But when he like I'll be watching a lot of these interviews on how these people think, and it's amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Elon Musk said, "Look, I had to make a decision when I went to
Mhm.
California because he wanted to get into Valley. I forgot the name of the place. It was Big Valley place where all the high tech people will always be. I forgot. Damn. Whatever. Anyway, he wanted to get into the Valley. I forgot the name. And he said,
Not P
"Look,
Valley.
huh?
Not P Valley, right?
No, not that." But anyway, so he had to come to a decision. He said, "Look, I had enough money." He said, "I have money. It was either an apartment building, or a condo, or a office." He said,
Mhm.
"Well, it made more sense for me to get an office than it was for me to get a condo because it was
mm,
cheaper. So I
mm,
decided to sleep on the couch. I said,
mm,
y'all don't even be peeping like what these people be going through as they make progress, like in their thinking
mm,
patterns, right? I remember
mm,
seeing it a couple of times, and people tell me like, "Yo, if you ever like feel like you about to go broke or anything," he said, "Look, the best thing for you to do is go buy an office suite. They're not that
mm,
expensive. Office
mm,
suite comes with the electricity, all that already in place.
mm,
You paying $500 and you sleeping. I mean, you sleeping in an office technically, but you can still have everything there, right? In fact, I remember a
mm,
guy I used to work for in my early 20s. He had one of those, right? We
mm,
go there. He'd have the studio set up, this set up. It'll be a bed. I'd be like, "What the fuck? He sleep here?"
mm,
And the dude was like, "Yeah, he sleeps here." I'm like, "Oh well." But look what he had in place. He had things that set himself up to make money. So he was doing people audios and vocals and all that and sleeping in the bag.
mm.
And I was like, man. And I
Yeah.
thought about it. He's like, I said, how much you paying for it? He's like, paying like 500 or 600. He said, but he was charging people an hourly rate of $50 to $100. I was
Mm,
like, it's
mm.
things you can put in motion that you got to put pride to the side as you start making these steps at the same time. Man, that's all I got right
Uh, Change, adapting is
there.
key.
No,
Some
adaptation.
people don't know how to change and grow. You feel me? Like, look at Jay-Z, longevity, continues to study the culture and move with it, not trying to move against it.
Huh?
You know what I mean? In music, songs used to be 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Now, your shit got to be about a good 2 minutes in and out.
Huh?
You can't make people listen to a 7 minute song because you just that talented. Even your look, your image. You know what I mean? You have to continuously adapt and grow with the culture. Even Steve Harvey said some shit. He was like, "Look, I liked my big suits. I was the fashion statement of that shit. You know what I mean?" His wife was like, "Hey, I'm gonna link you up with this stylist, right? Stylist, hey, look, we need to make your suits a little tighter, a little smaller. We're gonna switch up this. We're gonna switch up designers. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna change the color scheme. You know what I mean? Yeah, everything can't be what you're used to as Steve Harvey. And now, shit, he's popping in the fashion world. He's popping in real life, like more so than what he was because he was able to adapt,
Mm.
even his physical appearance, and being able to adapt your physical appearance, even when you're already successful. I think that's very humbling. If somebody knows I'm already successful, I could just be stubborn. And, you know what I mean? It's easier for them to be stubborn than you, and you're in the process of building. So if Denzel is still going to acting classes and all this shit, if these people still know, hey, I got to continue to change with the culture and grow with the culture and not work
Right.
against it in order to become more successful, what's your excuse why you so stuck in your ways?
Right.
We got to continue to grow. See what works, see what don't work. Listen to people. You know what I mean? Uh, some people feel like they so smart, even when it comes to what they doing and they plan and everything like that. They have deaf ears. People can't modify, edify. So yeah, we definitely got to keep that in mind. And then um, once again, going back to Steve Harvey, he really don't know a lot about investing, so he got a young guy on his team. That's his forte, right? More humbling. He has a younger guy that knows more about investing into stocks and all these type of things, and that's what he keep on his team, right? So sometimes we feel like in order to be successful in everything, we got to get our hands in it. That's not the case.
Mm.
You just need people around you that's efficient enough in those categories or within those lanes. You know what I mean? So that's key. Change, be able to adapt and be able to know that you don't have to actually be the person in every single lane. And that's how you become successful. That goes back to your network and that goes back to your ego. Feel me? So if you could pay somebody else, hire somebody else, or have people in your circle that's good in the areas that you weak in, this
Mm.
is how you progress.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't gotta be fucking LeBron James. You ain't gotta have assists, block, points, shoot threes, work the paint. You ain't gotta do all that. This is why you got a team. So anything you got on that, man?
Oh man. I said I'm the quote guy.
Mm-hmm.
Without adaptation comes extinction.
Kobe.
Right?
Full.
I don't know if y'all understand that. Without adaptation comes extinction. Because if you can adapt
Mm-hmm.
to what's going on, you're good as dead. So,
Right.
as you was talking, one of my favorite people was Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? I remember
Mm-hmm.
as he was talking, he said, "Look, I hired a stylist. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need him, but I hired him to keep me updated with the people I'm going to be around. It's for my image, right?" I always talked about on this podcast, I'm gonna forever talk about even real. I always say, always have a multitude of counselors. Like one of my major plan to keep my kingdom, when I say my kingdom, when I always say kingdom, kingdom is your family, your empire is your alliance, your empire is your network. Literally, right? Anything go left, right, your network's supposed to be like, hey, we're gonna ride to your kingdom, we're gonna make sure it's protected. Whatever you need, we got it. But
Mm-hmm.
you prove yourself worthy when you get that type of number. Right? So with that being said, I believe in making sure in the business aspect, I at least have 2 to 3 individuals for everything that I need. Oh, you do engineering? Cool. We need to be friends. Hey, what do you do? Technology? We need to be friends. I need 3 people for each category that I'm gonna be looking into investing wise or things that
Right.
catch my attention. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing, and another thing is you never want to get to a point where you hire everybody for things you can actually do on your own. But it's good to always keep people around. Like one of the times I fucked up on a business aspect was I just took somebody's word, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was always one of the people that had the funds. I was like, fuck it, hey, it's gonna make this. All right, cool, man, make it happen. Then a year go by, I was like, yo, what happened to the investment? The person stopped fucking doing what they said it was doing. I'm like, damn, so I just lost money with you, basing it off your metrics, and you didn't even stick to the plan. I might have did this shit myself. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. As I said, if you can do things on your own, that's good. If you get people to work as a team, that's good. But never cripple yourself to a point where you always got to hire. You should see,
Mm-hmm.
once you have your network and flow, they already teaching you everything to a point. You'll understand things on your own a little bit better. But it's always
Mm-hmm.
good to have specialties. Right? As I said, I'm a generalist. I like to hire specialists. These are people who design themselves for specific things in your life.
Cool, cool. I'm gonna lighten up a bit. One of my closing points. Look at your intimate relationships. We should definitely see progress and upgrades. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean, and I ain't just talking about looks, but we actually should upgrade each relationship. Next person should have more things to offer. Maybe even be smarter, right? That'd be nice. You know what I mean? We should see progress in this shit. You shouldn't keep attracting the same type of people that you have problems with and still talking about, hey, niggas ain't shit, bitches ain't shit. Like, you might be the person that ain't shit because this is what you continue to attract. This is your cycle. So as you upgrade yourself and make progress personally, this shit should show. It should be a trajectory to the type of relationships that you get involved with. You don't want to take nobody serious? Cool. Your fling game should be going up. You should have better flings, better quality poom poom, fellas. Like
Quality pool pool,
you can't be
babe.
talking about you a king and the females you rocking with or your woman or whatever. She ain't up to par.
She a
You
harlot.
can't say you a king. You know what I mean? Yeah, you and peasant poom poom. Like that's not what the kings would do, man. You feel me? So all this shit got to click.
All of it.
Um, yeah, all of it got to click. And going back, you know what I'm saying, to the whole health and body thing, like, hey, your sex life should progress. Your performance should progress. You can't be talking about, hey,
Oh,
when I was in my 20s, I was in the poom poom for 2 hours, and now you just in there for 20 minutes. Like, hey, buddy,
I man, I
progress.
got work. I got work. I got work. Yeah,
Hey,
I
maybe
got
on a
shit to
couple
get
of
off,
nights. Hey,
man.
maybe on a couple of nights.
Uh,
Maybe on a couple of nights, you probably
so,
can,
so,
hitting
so
this.
20 minutes at least 2 days a week, and then I gotta give her an hour, or at least one day a week, right?
Hey, look, I'm just saying, man. Hey, Steph Curry. Hey, Steph Curry on every game ain't, jaw dropping, but hey, Steph Curry's still Steph Curry, man. You know what I'm saying? He still got to perform.
Basketball to sex. All right,
Same
bro. All
shit.
right, all right.
Same shit. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be reminiscing on your youth so much. You still should be living throughout your youth. You know what I mean? Even in sex life. Ladies, you know what I'm saying? Dudes, you do need to be able to, hey, put them legs, you know what I'm saying, behind your head. You can't be like, oh, your hip hurt, your leg stopping you from doing that. Take care of your body. Perform.
What are
Everybody
you talking
performing.
about, man?
I'm just saying, hey, progress. Progress. You know what I mean? Progress in all areas.
Oh, man.
Relationships, sex life. Hey, learn some new sex moves. Hey, spice shit up a bit. Don't stay
Bro, we
on the
got like
same
3
level.
episodes of how to improve your sex game, man. You know,
Mhm.
smack back and professional. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
Smack back in profession. Okay.
Smack back and professional, man. I just don't get paid yet.
Cool, cool.
Oh my goodness, man! No, that was funny.
Hey,
He said, "Yeah, put your legs behind your head." Yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
You try to trigger men, huh? Like,
Huh?
the freakier a woman gets sometimes, being like, "Oh, you was a little hoe back then, huh?" You look.
Hey, hey,
Oh my goodness, man!
hey.
Progress.
I don't judge. That's progress. Yeah, I don't judge.
It's-
That's progress. Yeah, that's good work. But yeah, if you ain't got nothing on that, I say one more thing and then I'm done.
well, progress on sex.
Sex life, but yeah, relationships,
I'm
who you
about to say,
intimate with,
man, I
make
definitely
progress
could.
in that.
I
Mm.
definitely could talk about that, right? So there was a conversation where it was the most stupid comparison I've ever heard in my life.
I say this all the time.
Somebody was trying to compare rap and pornography, right? And I was like, that don't make sense. Like the comparison of people dying versus somebody's having sex that's seen unmorally. I was like, yeah, this has got to be the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. But anyway, so they was trying to say, so what's the good things about, porn is seen as a negative? I said that. But at the same time, I also said porns have actually helped increase people's sex drive or fantasies and kinks, and they actually find out how to perform better. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Shit, man, look. Learn how to smack better because of pornos, man. You know what I'm saying? They teach you things you ain't never seen, and you're an amateur. You know what I'm saying? Spitting
Mm-hmm.
the blood and shit. It's crazy shit like that, man. You never know, man. You just gotta. Yeah, but hey, look, hey,
Yeah,
look, I'm just
yeah.
saying. You never know what it is that helps get a woman off, or even help get you off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Complimenting, like, if a person's word for affirmations is one of their love language, do the same shit in bed. You might see some crazy shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
man.
Hey,
Hey,
progress is progress.
goddamn, man.
Brother.
Hey,
You
quit
got
slapping me.
progress on all levels, especially that bedroom. So,
Mm,
my closing thing, shouts out to the Wall Street Trapper.
mm,
He made a post. I'm like, yo, this shit is perfect. He said, yo, when you born, you look like your parents. When you die, you look like your decisions. I was like, oh shit.
God damn.
I was like, God damn curtains. like, like
God damn.
that's so fucking powerful.
Man,
You
who
feel
you
me?
get that from,
You
man? He just made
Wall
that
Street
up.
Trapper.
I
Wall
know
Street
what
Trapper.
he
Shout
just
out
made
to the
that.
Trapper.
God damn.
So listen to people's conversation. This is how I was raised. That's all I know. I eat this because my family been eating this for years. I shop here because this my everything sounds so traditional. No one's expanding past what we know. You
Mm,
feel me? And then
man.
when people die of health issues, they die of financial issues that also cause health issues, or we make it the normality. We got to change that. So when he said that, I was like, damn, that's facts. Like, you feel me? Like when you leave out of here, you know what I'm saying? You definitely want to have shit in place, shit in order, things accomplished. You know what I mean? Like, you ever been to a funeral and the person's uh uh program is like shit, a paragraph? And then you've been to other funerals and they shit is like pages. And
Pages,
then they picture
pictures.
game is crazy, like, you know what I mean? And then they got different people from different organizations coming up and
Mm,
speaking and talking about their care. It's not just a small room full of family and friends. It's like shit look like a fucking it's like some fucking celebrity died or something. You know what I mean?
starts
Like,
with an I, man. You know what that I
what?
is?
God, what's that? Mm,
Impact. That
impact.
person had impact.
Right. So this is definitely how we want to live our lives. So if you can't say you're not preparing for your death properly, I don't know what you're living for. That's the biggest motivation. You know what I mean? You should live it every day like how that tomorrow ain't promised. If I leave right now, what is my impact and what am I leaving behind? What are people gonna remember me for? They're gonna remember me as being an asshole. They're gonna remember me as being broke. Remember what are people gonna remember you for?
Mm.
So I'm done, man. Job done, man.
All right, man. Job done, man. Okay.
Bag it up.
What?
Bag it up, man. We're done.
Thank you. All right, man. So tell people where they can reach us at, man. Tell people where they can reach us at.
Yeah, follow us on IG, Talking That Talk Official Podcast.
Mm.
Follow both of us individually up top, No Ordinary Brother, and go by the name of King Exodus. You'll see that YouTube link in both our bios. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hey, continue to rock with us, share the live. We appreciate y'all.
Don't forget, make progress mandatory. All right,
Yes,
man. Peace.